Time for another board game review, and this time we have the game Deadly Doodles. This was sent to me by Steve Jackson Games and is designed by Sam Mitchke and Randy Schoenman, illustrated by Katie Cook. In this quick-playing doodle game, 1 to 4 players simultaneously draw paths through a dangerous dungeon. Collect loot and weapons, fight monsters, or run away screaming. Can you defeat the dragon for the big score? Let me show you how to play. So each player takes one map board and a dry erase marker. And then you shuffle these cards together to form a deck, and then we reveal the top 4 cards that all players can see them at once. If you ever reveal a draw 2 card like this, you remove it and just draw 2 more cards. And here we have our 5 cards. Now, using these 5 cards, you have to draw path segments through your dungeon based on the cards revealed at the start of each round. Draw your path through loot. Here we have these little treasure bags for points, and through the dragon for bonus points. You can kill monsters by drawing your path through a monster and the matching weapon. So here we have like the bee monster. You would need the bee axe in order to score points for that. Otherwise, monsters will maul you if you don't have the right weapon. After 7 rounds, you get points based on the entire path or paths that you have drawn. So these small diamond-shaped patterns are passageway markers. There are also walls, which are these heavy lines. Your path segments must always connect to a passageway and cannot cross or end at a wall. Now, when you draw a path segment, only one may be drawn within a room, and you may not draw a path segment within a room that contains one of your traps. All ends of a path segment, except for the dead end, must lead to passageways, and you can rotate it as you'd like. So let's say for this one, I draw it here. Like so. Now let's pretend one of these was a trap card instead. When a trap card is revealed, you must draw an X within any empty room on your dungeon map. So let's say I go here. Okay? You can't set a trap in any room that contains loot, weapons, monsters, the dragon, your previously drawn path segments, or another trap. I already explained the draw 2 card, so let's go over just sort of like a typical round. Like I said, you're going to draw all these segments, and also at the top of each corner, you're going to make a little number to remind yourself of what round you drew them. So I could do this one here, like this. I could do this one here, get the axe, and I could... here's a dead end, and let's say I do it here. That would be a valid first round. At the start of the game, your first path segment must link to an entryway. Now, there are different entryways around the board. You don't have to start at any specific one. After that, all new path segments must either link to a previously drawn path segment or start a new path at another entryway. If you reveal a path segment that can't be drawn on your map for any reason, you're going to place a tally mark next to item 6 in the scoring region of your map. Or not your map, your scoring area. Because it's going to be minus 2 points for each unused card at the end. At the end of the round, you discard all the cards, and you just draw 4 new cards. Oh, there's another draw 2. So, discard it, draw 2 more. And then you would just have to draw these on your map. Now, after the 7th round is completed, the game ends, you calculate your score by following the instructions. So let's go over how scoring works. For every loot bag your path crossed, you would score 2 points, and you double the score if you went through the dragon by the end. +1 for each weapon your path crossed, +4 for each monster your path crossed that has the same letter as a weapon scored in item 2, -2 for each monster your path crosses that does not match a weapon scored in item 2, +1 for each unused entryway arrow, meaning that it's better if you can to use only one entryway and not multiple, because you'll score more points that way. -2 points for each card you couldn't draw, and -3 for each trap that hits you. Let's go over the traps now. At the end of the game, when you're scoring, one player at a time is going to reveal the coordinates of any traps you drew during the game. So I might say, okay, I drew one at E3, okay? You can't really see the 3. It's up there. Yeah, E3. Oh, I didn't even plan that. Just like the gaming convention. Now, everybody is going to check their map and see if they have a pathway at E3. If you've drawn a path within a room where another player has a trap, You get hit by that trap, and you'll lose -3 points at the end of the game. If any player has the same trap in the same place as another player's trap, each of you gets hit by your own trap. So keep that in mind. And then when you calculate the traps, you just erase them. But yep, that's another way to, make people lose points. Otherwise, that's pretty much it. You just draw what you're given, try to get through as many weapons and loot in the dragon as possible, and score points. And that's the game.
So this is a very bare bones flip and write game. I think this would be solid for kids because the rules are very simple. But if you're an experienced board gamer, or even if you're not, this is not going to offer a lot for you, I think. I think aesthetically it's cute, I like the art, but there's very little to think about here. This feels like you're playing a game like, let's say, Railroad Inc., which I think has a lot more to offer, but you're only reading like the first paragraph and playing based off of that. I think the game is too short and too lenient with its drawing. What makes a flip and write game exciting for me is as you're making decisions and as the game progresses, the tension builds because you start to need the exact right card. You're like, oh, I need this specific thing so that I can make this go here. And you're running out of options and you're just hoping to get exactly what you need. In this game, you barely fill out most of the board just because, it's a huge dungeon, right? And the tiles are too easy to fill in. They're very lenient. Sure, you can't go into walls, but that's it. Other games, I think, will penalize you if you have too many open pathways or other things. This one, you can draw your paths very easily as long as you're careful enough. The trap system also feels very arbitrary. Like, there's no way, you're supposed to predict where these X's are unless you somehow look at your opponent's sheet, which is cheating. So it just feels like random guessing. Like, I hope you're drawing here. I don't know. It just feels very random to me. So I think I can only recommend this if you have kids because the rules are simple. And it's not a bad game, but it's not very engaging. But for kids, I think, especially little kids, very simple. You're just drawing little paths and, connecting stuff. And I think that could be a good fit. Otherwise, there are so many more interesting flip and write games that aren't even necessarily 10 times more complex, but they just have way more interesting mechanics and decisions to make. So, I don't know. This one was very whatever to me. Yeah.